Hi, Uddipta. Good evening. Welcome to the session and thank you so much for joining early. We will be starting this session in a couple of minutes.
Hi, good evening, everyone who has joined, and also thank you for this warm welcome. And we'll be joining in a few minutes, everybody. So just kindly wait for a few minutes to start. Thank you.
Okay, so everyone, we will start the session around 8 p.m. and soon I will be sharing two polls. So everyone make sure to engage with these polls and let's wait for a couple of minutes, then we'll start the session. Okay, guys, I have shooted two polls here. So first one is regarding your location level and the other one is to know the experience level. So I expect everyone to please engage with these. It helps us to get a better idea of your level. Okay, so I think we are good to go now. So everyone, good evening and welcome to another session in the DataHour series. We are thrilled to have you all here this evening for an interactive learning session. I, Rakshana Karya, part of the data science team at Analytics Vidhya, will be the moderator for the session. For those who have joined us for the first time, a brief introduction about the DataHour sessions. With the intent to make learning data science more engaging to the community, we began with our new initiative, DataHour. and which is 1 hour dedicated to data. So DataHour is a series of webinars led by top industry experts where they teach and democratize data science knowledge. So now onto our session today, which is stirring up data science with SQL. There is no better way than learning SQL for anyone pursuing to get into the world of data science. SQL is considered not only among the most in demand skills for data professionals, but it also serves as a starting point for moving towards other valuable technical skills. And many high-paying careers in data science are built on a basis of SQL language. In this data art, Uddipta Sarma explores some interesting SQL queries using which we can manipulate with the data like select distinct, where, and, or, not, delete, truncate, and many more. So before we kick things off and I hand it over to our session presenter, a quick recap of the housekeeping items. We are recording this session and we will make the recording available in a few days on our YouTube channel. Please use the Q&A section for asking any questions you might have during the session. And as the data progresses towards the end, we will do our best to answer them. Also, we will share a feedback poll towards the end of the session, which I request everyone to participate in. Now, on to our speaker in this session of data, we have Uddipta Sarma with us. Uddipta Sarma has done BTech in computer science and MBA in marketing. She has 5 years experience as data analyst in corporate and 4 years experience as a data science trainer. Her competencies are Excel, basic to advanced, VBA, Google Sheet, Excel for statistics, Power BI, Tableau, SQL Server, Python, basic to advanced. So she has experience in training domestic as well as international clients. Presently, she is working as a freelance data science trainer associated with reputed educational institutes. So you can also follow her on LinkedIn. And one more important thing that another detailed conversation of this session is already available on our YouTube channel. The link will be dropped in the chat section within a couple of minutes, so you can pick it up from there. So over to you, Uddipta. The virtual stage is all yours.
Okay, hi Raksha. Thanks for giving such a warm welcome. And this is a second data hour series, but I'm also very excited to join with everyone here. And I hope the session goes well. And the best thing about this session is it's not that much long stretching session, but yes, in this session, you will definitely get something inputs for the SQL queries. Okay, I'll make sure of that so that you can use it and try to manipulate the data as you like. Okay, those who are new to this session, let me tell you that previous one data session that we had taken, so there we have not gone much wider, but at least to a minimum level of the queries, that is how to create a table and basically how to insert the values in a table, what is a database, how to develop a database, how to create a database and use a database in SQL. Okay, and also like regarding your joining your how to install it, how to install SQL, how to install your SQL Server Management Studio, where actually you'll be working with the queries. So all these things you all be, I think, getting everything by the team itself. And also the pre-recorded video of our last data hour session, you'll be available in the link here. Okay. So I also want to tell you all, keeping at least 10 to 15 minutes of buffer at the end of the session where I'll be answering all of your queries. So kindly just note later on, one by one, I'll be able to answer all your queries serially. Okay. So let us begin our session. Okay. So I hope everybody has given their poll and their poll. I think everybody has done it. So I think we can go forward. It's done. So I'm sharing the screen where I'll be showing you all what actually we have done in our last session. Okay. So you don't have to get thrilled that you have not attended the first session. I'll also get a quick review of what was taught in our last session. Okay. Just hold for 2 minutes. I think some people are already, writing their polls there. So I think I'm seeing on the screen. That's why I'm just waiting for 1 more minute, and then we can get started. Okay. This session will be basically for, let's say, 1 hour 20 minutes. Okay. We'll take it off and then short. So let's say we'll be finishing exactly by, let's say, 9:30. Okay. So let's start. Just hold, just hold on, guys. Okay, so this is my SSMS studio. This is the SSMS means SQL Server Management Studio, where actually we perform our SQL queries. We write our queries to manipulate our data, and also from a whole database, how can we extract the data according to our will? Okay, so this is where we do everything. So this is the platform here. And last time in our last DataHour session, we have just done this part of the query. All these are queries. Okay, so any instruction queries don't take as a very high tech thing. Query is just a normal instruction that we give to SQL Server to give us the related information that we want from the database. Okay, just take it as an information thing. Okay, in layman language I'm saying. And this is how you can see. I hope everybody can see the screen now. I want to get confirmation.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, fine. So last time what we have done, let's take a quick review of this. So firstly, how to create a database. Okay, so database is nothing. Database is a huge collection of data, okay, from where we can extract data, the part of data that we actually want analysis or for our presentation. Okay, so that is called a database, and this is how we create a database. This is create. Okay, so let me tell you, SQL is a normal English language. We don't have to have a very high tech words of programming language that nobody understands. It's not like that. In fact, SQL is the most easiest language out of all the programming languages you have ever known. Okay, so this is the very easy language, and if you see clearly, all these queries that I'm writing right now, all these things are very like normal English language that we usually speak or we usually write. So here, if you see, when I have to create a database, so I have to write this create word, right? So create database and the database name. Okay, that means whatever database I want to create, I have to mention that first. Within that database, I have to store the data, right? And based on that data only, I have to extract the data using SQL queries. Okay, SQL is also known as SQL. Some people call it SQL, some people call it SQL. So both are same. Okay, so first and foremost thing is to create the database, which is create database and the name of the database. Whatever database you want to create, you can just name it. Then you have to use the database, okay, because we have created it but we haven't used it. Unless and until you use this database, you cannot insert the data inside this database. So that's why the next step is always to use this database. Okay, after that, if I have to delete the database, I have to write drop database and the database name. Previously, I had a database known as sample. Okay, so that's why I wanted to delete that sample database. So I have shown how to delete that database. So to delete a database, I'm using this particular language, which is drop. Drop means to delete. Okay, drop means to delete the existence of the database, the whole database from the server. That means it will not exist only in the server itself. So drop database and the database name. Okay, I hope till here everybody is clear. Okay, so now let's go forward the next thing, which is called how to create a table, because inside the table we will be writing all the data. Okay, so mind you, SQL server that we're using right now, okay, here every data is stored in the form of tables. Tables, as you know, is nothing but intersection of rows and columns. Rows are kind of vertical horizontal lines and columns are vertical lines, like you have seen in your tabular form, you can say. right? So like if you have somebody have used Excel also, you can see the Excel spreadsheets or the Excel sheets are in the form of tables. That means they have columns as well as rows. So in Excel you can say 1 2 3 4, the horizontal ones are called rows, and A B C D like that are known as columns. Okay, so data is stored in the form of tables in SQL Server. So that's why we have to create table, okay, to enter the data inside this table. So first we have to create a table, then only we can write insert the values inside the table. Yes, Sapna, exactly, that's called relational database. Exactly, thanks. Okay, and now we can write how to create a table. Similarly, the way we have created the database, the similar thing we have to write for create a table. So anything that we are creating new to SQL Server, we have to use this word create, okay? And then we are writing create table and then the table name. As like we have done here, create database and database name. Same here, create table and the table name. And then this is how we are writing. So this ID, name, salary, age, gender, department, all these are nothing but all these are column names. Okay. And int, varchar, okay, all these are known as data types. So data types are nothing but data types are sort of, how we store the data, in what column what type of data is stored. That means if we take the ID, so employee ID is always a number, it cannot be a name, right? So your number is always a whole number, it's not a decimal number. So any whole number, that number is known as a data type. So that means only whole numbers can be stored inside the ID column. Yeah, so that is called a data type, that is whole number data type, which is also known as integer data type in SQL. That's why I have written here int. That means I'm telling SQL Server that under this ID column, I just want to place all the data inside it in the form of integer. That means whole number. Okay. And I'll go to this not null thing. All these things I'll go. First, let me make you understand how this table is created. Next, it comes name. So name is a column, and under this name, I want to present all the data in the form of text, because name cannot be a number. It is always composed of letters, right? So in any text or any string, so whatever name you write in the form of alphabets, a thing which is consists only of alphabets is known as a text in SQL. So the text, to enter the text, we use the data type called varchar. Okay. And also we assign some space for it. Okay. In other data types, we don't have to assign space, but for varchar, we always have to assign a space. You can assign any kind of space. It can be 2, it can be 5, it can be 10, 15, just to allocate some space, because the name can be, some names can be short, some names can be long, some names can be more long. So to fit all the names inside a particular column, a particular space is needed. Yeah, so I have taken 15, so that if any space is left also for some names, that thing can be taken as a buffer. And if some names are too long, that can be easily hold within 15 size. Okay. Then salary is an int. You can take it as float also. So in SQL, integer is for whole number. But if you want to enter data in the form of decimal number, you can use the data type known as float. Okay. Here I could have written float, but I just took it as integer, so that float is very hard to, write the decimal numbers one by one again and again. That's why I have taken int. Otherwise, in my presentation, if you get it, when you get it, you can see. So we can also take it as float also for decimal numbers. Okay. So age is always as an integer, because age cannot be a decimal number. Gender is again a varchar, because it's male and female, right? So it is a text. That's why we're using varchar data type. Department is also a varchar data type, because it is in a form of text, like operations, sales, marketing, or HR, or anything, right? And now comes your constraints. So what are constraints basically? Yes, yes, length or memory size, it's the total memory size that it keeps. Okay, Anil? It'll keep you varchar will, whatever varchar size we are putting here inside the bracket, that gives you the memory size, that it is holds that kind of memory. Okay, like max length of 15, like length of 15 is only the bit size, right? That means 15 letters can be added there. That means it's holding some memory. So both the things are same. Okay. Yes, Himanshu. So varchar is called variable character. Yes, exactly. Now let's go for the next thing, which is called constraints. So constraints are things like we can say, rules that we make in our columns. Wherever we are writing, we're entering any data inside the columns. So we have to mention some, or we don't have to mention, or we can mention, but there are something known as constraints in SQL. Constraints are nothing, but we set some rules while we entering data inside any particular column. Let's say here I have mentioned this in the ID column where I have written the int as an data type. I have also mentioned not null. This not null is nothing, but not null is a constraint. That is a rule that we have given inside the ID column. That means what? We cannot make this particular column as blank. That means if I miss any ID to be written or to be entered, so that particular record cannot be left as blank. It will show me an error, or it will give me a warning that this particular thing has left blank. So I have to fill it. So that means I cannot leave any blank spaces in that particular ID column. So I'm using this not null constraint. So this is kind of a rule that has been attached to the ID column. Okay. Similarly, this primary key is also a rule which I have set in the ID column. So why this is called a primary key? Primary key is nothing, but it gives a unique identification of that column from the other columns in the table. Like, what can I say here? I have taken the ID column as the primary key. So primary key is also a constraint, a rule that I have attached with the ID column. Why? Because name can be same for many people, salary also can be same for many people, age can also be same for many people, gender also, department also. But one thing that cannot be same for any employees is their IDs, right? Employee IDs cannot be same for any two employees in an organization. All employees will have their unique ID. So to differentiate each and every like employee within an organization, we have used this primary key. Okay, that means there can be no duplicate value of ID in the ID column. Okay, so that's why I have attached two constraints here. One is the not null constraint. That means no null values, or null values means empty values. Okay, no empty values will be taken or entertained in the ID column. And secondly, ID column should have only unique values. It cannot have duplicate values. If anybody is entering the data which is a duplicate of any ID, so that thing will not be accepted. It will give you an error or a warning. Okay, and there are more constraints like say default constraint, check constraint. Okay, all this constraint, and all these constraints are described in my PPT in my last hour session, so you can easily go through it and you can understand it. Okay, I'm just giving a quick revision of what I have actually done in my SSMS Studio last class. I hope you're getting everyone what I'm trying to say till here. I hope everybody is clear. Okay, fine. So now also we have, this is only to create a table. This is what we have created, a table with the column names. Now we have not entered the data yet. So how to enter the data inside this table that we have created? So in this case, we'll be using insert into. Okay, insert into is a query which we'll be using to insert the values inside the table that we have created. So this is the employee table and I'm using the insert into. I hope you can now easily relate this particular queries or instructions with your usual normal English language that we usually speak, right? So insert into, of course, we are inserting, right? And into what? Into the this table. So it's quite familiar, right? How we speak and how we write. So basically you have to write insert into the table name and the values, because we are inserting values, right? So we have to write the values here. Then we have to give a bracket in which this is the first row that I'm entering. So this is row wise entry. Okay, so this is the first row and we have to enter based on how we have mentioned the columns. Okay, so first I have named ID, then name, then salary, age, gender, department. So in this way only we have to write our values also. So you can see in the first row of the table we have written 1. So 1 is the ID. A is the name, salary is 90,000, and 23 is age, male is the gender, and operations is the department. So serially, I'm writing all the entries. Yeah. Similarly, for row 2 also I'm using this. Now, after this we have made, there is one more thing. I have entered the values also, and I have also entered, you can say, created a table also. Now, how to look how my table is looking? Okay, that is also important, because without that I cannot really answer all my queries or get my queries done. So in this case, what we can do, we can use this select star from, okay, one more thing. So I have also created another database. Okay, now let's tell you about this thing. Okay, so if you see here in my, where my cursor is placing in the left side of the corner, you can see this is the object explorer. Okay, so here you'll be getting everything that you're creating here. You'll be getting a replication of your replication means the names. Okay, let's say I have created the master data, right? And I have created the employee table within the master data database. So you can see all these thing names can be seen in this object explorer. If you see, this is a database here. If I click on this plus symbol, you can see I got my master data database. So database always looks like this black color cylindrical type of icon. Okay, all these are databases. This is also a database, this is also a database. So under this database that I have created, that is master data, I have created the table employee. So how do we get to see this table employee? So if I just go to this plus symbol, click here, in this table, we can get this table here. I'll just click on this plus symbol of the table. Here you can see DBO employee. So as this table is an object, it is considered as an object in SQL Server. That's why its initial is DBO. You don't have to go for this DBO dot, but it's just the employee table that we have created. Okay, and you can see the icon of a table is just looking like a normal table that we usually make in the form of rows and columns. Okay, now this is how we have created manually a table. Also, there is one option. If we have a sheet, let's say if we have a large data file, so how to bring that file as a table in our SQL Server, that also I have mentioned in the last section. You can just go for it and look into it. As we have a limited time to this data session, so I have to carry forward with the rest of the things also. So this was a quick glance of what I have done, but this is how I have created my second database, that is first sample, under which I have imported a file, an Excel file, where I have a large data. Okay, and that data is how I imported that data, and how that data I have, this is the data. Okay, this is the database. Under this database, if I go, and this is a table, right? This table, I'll go here, and this is what orders, people, and returns. These three are under the same sheet, Excel sheet. Okay, and this is the file that I have imported from my system. Okay, this is the Excel file. So how to import Excel file, CSV file, where we have a lot of data, that you can easily check in my latest in my last class video, and we can go ahead like that. So now let's go ahead with our current session today, what we have in store for you today. So let's go for one by one. Okay, so now, as I told you, that I wanted to show you that how can I see what table I have created and what are the data I have within this table. Yeah, I want to see that. So for that, what I can use the what I can say, query called select. Okay, I can use the query called select. Now, as I'm using this particular thing for the today is a fresh page, right, and a fresh new day. So that's why I'm clicking on this use master data once again. Okay, because I have to use this master data database. Under this only I can perform all the operations. So how to execute each and every query? Just select this particular query like I have used like this, and just click on execute. So once you make a query, just select that query and then click on execute. So that particular query will get executed. Okay. Now let's see how our table will look like, employee table. So how can I do that? I'll use select star Star means what? Star means nothing, but star is kind of a, I want to select everything. So select means to show, okay? So just remember this way in a very simple way. Select means to show and star means everything. That means show everything from the employee table that I have created, okay? This simply means this thing. So select star from employee, okay? So when I select this particular thing, you can see these are the two entries that we have made inside, right? This is a table where I had ID, name, salary, age, gender, department, and these are the two entries that I have made, right? And this is how my table looks in SQL Server, having columns as well as rows. So all these vertical lines are called columns, and this 1 and 2 are called rows, okay? Till here, I hope everybody is clear. Okay, fine. So now let's go forward for today's session, what we are going to learn. So this is the first thing I wanted to show you all, which is select star from employee. Now there are not much, you can say data here. Okay, I want some more data. So in this case, I will be inserting some more data here. Okay, so just hold on. So I won't take much time. It's just that I'm copying and pasting some of the things. Let's say, because already this employee table has been created, so I cannot, insert more values here. Let's say if I insert more values, it won't get completely executed because already it has taken into account. But still, I'll just show you how to write the queries. You can quickly write the queries. It won't take much time. Okay, but you have to know the shortcut also. Just copy and paste some of the things that you have and just change the different entries that you have made. So let's say I have written here, let me change the names also. These names are very pathetic, I mean to say. Same, okay. Some good numbers. Okay. Put it into some good values. So parallelly, if somebody has already opened your this thing, what do you say, your sheet, you can parallelly do these things with me also. And if anybody has not opened it, it's fine completely. You can just watch this video and do it later. Okay. I'm quickly just writing this particular things so that I can get a good number of entries to work on. That's why I'm writing. Okay. And let's say there are two more entries I have to make. Let's do it also. Okay. I'll take 6 entries only, not more. And this is the last entry. I'm seeing things on the chat box, but I'm not being able to answer now. So I'm not even opened the chat box yet. So please kindly write everything on the chat box. After this session, definitely I will just answer everything, okay? Okay, fine. So I have done my queries. I have inserted all the records that I wanted to do under the employee table. But if you run this employee table, if you just run it, let's say, okay, I'm running this employee and clicking on execute. Okay, you can see that this is not taking any effect because here I have not the same employee table that I have used with only 2 keys. Now I've inserted many keys. Also, I have changed many keys. So to change anything or to insert more thing, we have to use the another command, which is update command. So we have not used the update command here. Yeah. So as of now, so let me change the name of this particular table. Okay, that's the employee one. So that is update command is another command that we haven't used yet, and we will use it in a few minutes. But until then, if I have to insert or change something new in this particular table, I have to, as of now, change the name of the table. Okay, that's the thing. Now, but before this, I have to change the name of the table here. It's written employee, so I have to write here employee one. Okay. So now, first of all, I have to create a new table under this master data database. So I'll just go and first select this and click on execute. So this new employee one table has been created. Okay. So now when I have created this employee one table, now I can insert these values in this employee one table. I'll just select everything that I have created and I click on execute. So you can see one row affected, one row affected, one row affected. That means all the values have been recorded inside this employee one table. Now, if I have to check whether I have the employee one table inside the master database or not, master data database, I can simply go again to this object explorer, go to this database, and in this master database, I click on this plus symbol, and within this tables, I'll click on plus symbol, and here you can see employee and employee one. So I have two tables now. Now I'm using this employee one table. Okay. Okay, so now let's go and okay. Now the next thing is, as I have already used the select statement to show you how to select, now I'll be selecting because I want to show you the new table that I have created where there are many number of entries better than the previous one. So I'll be selecting this select star from employee one table this time. Okay, and I click on execute. So you can see whatever entries I have written, I have got visible here. Now within this entries, I will be using some queries, okay, for you all just to know how we can do it. Okay. So first of all, I'll be going with the select statement. I hope everybody is clear with the select statement. Now the next thing is about the select distinct. Okay. So what is select distinct? Select means to select everything from the table. Okay. Because we have mentioned select star. Star, as I told you, means to select everything. That is to show everything from that table. Okay. And now I want to, select only the distinct values. Distinct values means the unique values from the any column. Let's say I want to select, just a minute. Let me show you first. Difference between only select and select distinct. Okay. Let me say I'm writing here select age from employee one. Okay. That means what? I want to show only the age column from the employee one table as my result. Okay. So when I select this particular thing and I click on execute, it will show me only the age column because I wanted to show only the age column as a result from the employee table that I have just created. Okay. Now, the next thing is regarding, let's say if I want to select, show more than 2 columns in my, result. Let's say this time I want to show select age, let's say name or ID, you can say ID. And also I want to show name. Also want to show the gender, okay, from employee one table. Okay. So this time in my result, I want to show ID column as well as name column as well as the gender column. All these three columns I want to show as a result from my employee one table. So what will I do? I'll select all these three. Okay. And then from the employee one table, I click on execute. Now you can see, I can see all the three columns that I wanted to see my result. Okay. Now this is your select statement. Select means it will be selecting everything from the column that I have mentioned. Okay. Now select distinct means what? Let's say I want to get the unique values of gender column. So gender column unique values, there are only two unique values. One is male and one is female, right? So there is repetition of male and female here, but I just want to know only the unique values from the gender column. So in this case, what I'll do, I'll be select distinct. Okay. In normal language also, if you say distinct means what? Particular or specific, right? These are the synonyms of distinct. So that means I want to show only the particular or the distinct values of from the gender column. Okay. So select distinct, and then what I'll do, select distinct, then I'll be mentioning gender from employee one. Okay, that's it. That means I want to select show only the distinct values or the unique values from the gender column from the employee one table. So I just have to select it and click on execute. So you can see only the distinct values or the unique values from the gender column has been shown. That means male and female. Though male has been repeated many times, female has been repeated many times, it is not showing me the duplicate values. It is just showing me the unique values. So that is the function of select distinct. Okay. I hope everybody is clear till here. Okay. Okay, so now we'll go for the next one, next query, which is our, let's say this is our where clause, okay? So what is a where clause? We should know that. So where clause is nothing, but it's kind of a, kind of condition that we are giving to the select statement. As of now, I'm, showing you everything from a particular column. I have used select to show the whole column. I have used select star to show everything from the table. And I've also used select distinct to show the unique values from a column. But if I have to show something from the table under some conditions, then we have to use the where clause. Okay. Let's say the conditions can be what? So some of the possible conditions might be, I want to select, that means I want to show everything. So star, select star, from which table? Employee one table. Okay. Where? So this time I'm using the where clause, where gender equals to male. And remember one thing, whenever you have to type anything as a text, like male is a text or name is a text or anything like that, you have to always use this single inverted. You cannot use double inverted in SQL Server. Okay, only single inverted you can use. If you use a double inverted, you'll get an error. So this time what I'm doing is I've given a condition along with the select statement that from the whole employee table, I just want to employee one table, I want to get only those entries where there are only males. I just want to get only the male entries. Okay, everything from the male entries. So I'm written here star. Okay. So now when I just run this particular statement, you can see we have got all the records, but only for the male employees. There are two more records of the female employees, but it has not been shown because I have given here a condition with the where clause where gender is equals to male. Okay, this is the function of where clause. And now let's say I want to again, let's say I want to see that I want to take all the records of the employee one table where salary is greater than 1 lakh. Okay. In this case also, I have to use where clause because there is a condition 2 here. So select everything from okay, employee one table where let's say salary, okay, is greater than 1 lakh. That's it. So now when I have to run this query and I click on execute, you can see only those employee names will be mentioned along with their details who are having salary greater than 1 lakh. Okay. I hope everybody is clear till here. Where clause? Shall we move forward for the next one? Okay. Now let's go for the next clause, which is known as, I think it's and or not, okay? So and or not are nothing, but these are, along with the where clause, we are using this particular clauses, and or not, because as of now, we are using only one condition, right? We have only got one condition, but suppose we have multiple conditions to make in a particular query, okay? So in this case, we have to use multiple queries we can make along with the and or and not clause, okay? So let's go for it one by one. I'll show you. Okay, there are so many queries. What is that? Okay, so you all want the recording of the previous sessions. Okay, you all can definitely get it. The team will definitely give you all the materials also regarding the previous session. So you can just go and just visit it, okay? Okay, so now let's go ahead, okay? So we will be now focusing on the next thing, which is called and on and not operator. So basically here, we'll be using and or not operator, where I will be using the where clause again, but here only we have written only one condition. When there is a need of two or more conditions to be put, we use the and or and not, okay? So let's say first, I'm using the and condition. So if I want to say that, I'm writing one query. Let's see where gender equals to male, okay? And, okay, this time I'm using two conditions using the and clause. And the second one will be, let's say age is less than 30. Okay, so in this case, the and operation will come into work, where we have two conditions here using the where clause. One is gender should be male and another is age should be less than 30. Okay, so this time, let's see what it comes. I'm selecting this whole query and clicking on execute. So you can see we have two entries here who are satisfying both the conditions. Okay, that is male and 30, less than 30. So you can see both are males and the ages for both of them are less than 30. Okay. So this is how we use the and clause. So and clause makes sure that both the conditions should be met. Okay. If any of the condition is not met, we won't get the result. Both the conditions should be taken into account. That is the and clause. Now we go for the or clause. I hope everybody is fine with the and clause here. Okay, everybody is clear? Okay, now let's go for the or clause. So or clause, what it does, in or clause, if I take the same thing as an or clause, that means what will it do? It will take either this or both of them. Okay, so let's say, let me take another sample that will be far more better. Let's say writing here, select star from employee one, where let's say salary is greater than, let's say 1 lakh, okay, or age is greater than 30. Okay, this is my query and this time I'm using or. Okay, so let's see what do I get with this particular statement. If I click on execute, you can see the first condition was salary is greater than 1 lakh. So you can see I'm getting salary as greater than 1 lakh. Also 90,000 also I'm getting. Why I'm getting 90,000? Because his age is greater than 40, greater than 30, which is 45, right? In all this age is not greater than 30. This age is also not greater than 30. But here one condition is matching, which is 1 lakh, greater than 1 lakh. So it has taken both the things into account. That means in our statement, any of the condition is also true. It will take both the conditions. Okay, either of the conditions also. But in the same thing, if I write using and statement here, let's say, okay, so this and statement, if I write, or else let's keep it as or, I'll be using this in the next query. I'm just selecting it here, pasting it here. Okay, and here I'm using and instead of or. Okay, now let me run. Here you see the difference between the two. Okay, so what I'm doing is, you can see when I'm using the or statement for the same kind of conditions, one is salary greater than 1 lakh or age is greater than 30, you can see both of them has been considered. That is, it is taking age greater than 30 also and salary greater than 1 lakh also. If the salary is not greater than 1 lakh but the age is greater than 30, it is considering that profile also, right? But in and, if you see the same thing, the same query I'm using, we're using the and function, so it is just showing me only this input. Yeah, because here it is not matching the other criteria. So that means what we can get it from here, that and will only accept when both the statements are matching. Okay, but or will accept even if one statement is matching. Okay, this is the difference between the two. I hope everybody is clear with it. Okay. Okay, so now and or is clear. Now let's go for the last one, which is and or and not. Okay, so not means what? Not means nothing, but it will just give you the opposite of what you're asking. That means, let's say, I'm just writing here. I'm writing here select. Okay, and I'm writing sorry. Okay, where let's say not age is greater than 30. Okay, I'm using this time the not clause. So what will it do when I just go for this particular statement and click on execute? What will it show me? Because I have written here not, but I have given the criteria is age is greater than 30. That means it will give me all the ages which is greater, less than or equal to 30. Okay, it's not greater than 30 but less than or equal to 30. Because I'm using here not, so as I told you, it will just give you the opposite of what you have answered, okay, of what you are requiring. So that means it will give you everything which is apart from this particular query. Okay, I hope everybody is clear. Okay, now let's go for the next part of the things, or next part of the queries. Okay, I will just suggest you all to keep all your queries for some time. Okay, as we'll be finishing in a couple of minutes. But before that, I would like to give some more inputs to you all for today's session, as because these things will very be particular for you all when you all run queries on SQL and you all start practicing. So these things will be very much useful. So let's complete it. Okay, then we'll be giving our this one Q&A session apart from that. Okay, so let's go for it. And now we'll be going for the next thing known as it's 1 second. Let me just. I'll be using the like and between operator. Okay, so what is the like operator and what is a between operator? So let's go for it. Let's say I'm just writing here. Like operator, what it does actually, let me just show you a presentation also. I have to show you a presentation. Just hold on, guys. Okay, just let me stop here. Just wait for a few seconds. Okay, so let me just share my screen. I want to show you first the introduction of, what is like and between operators. So just a minute. Okay. I hope you all are able to see the screen properly. Okay, it's visible for everyone, right?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So now let's, whatever we have done till now, you'll be also getting this PPT along with it. Okay. So select and select this thing we have already done. Okay. Where clause we have already done. And or not we have already done. Now let's come to the next thing, which is like and between. Okay. Now what is like and between operator? So, sorry. Yeah. So like is used to extract records where a particular pattern is present. So let's say, for example, I want to only take out those employees, yeah, who are having names that start with A or starts with any letter. Okay, so that means it's a kind of a pattern, right? So that's a pattern where I want to get all the employees' names whose name starts with a particular letter. That's a pattern. So in this case, we use two characters. These are known as wildcard characters. Wildcard characters are nothing, but they are pattern matching characters used with the like clause. Okay, one is the percentage, another is the underscore. Percentage is used to for one or more characters, okay, multiple characters, and for underscore is used to represent single character. So let us go one by one what these two mean actually, okay, practically. And the next one is between clause. Between clause is nothing, but that means what we are trying to between clause is nothing, but we are just trying to represent everything within a range. That means, using the where clause, I'm using the between operator for getting a range of something that is for a particular column. That means I want the, salary between 80,000 to 1 lakh. So that's how the between clauses use. So yes, we can say Nikhil is kind of a regular expression. That's sort of a regular expression. So let's go one by one practically and understand like in between clause. Okay. So I'm just keeping it aside. I'll be sharing the screen. Okay. So we'll be using now like in between clause. So let's say first one, I just want to mention, let's say do in a new, because everything will be very jumbled up. So I'm writing here, okay. Select, and let's say I want everything from the employee table, okay. But I just want to say only those employee names I want to show as a result whose name starts with J, let's say, okay, J letter. So how do I do that? I have to use the like operator. Let's say I have to use select star because I want to select everything from the employee one table where name, yeah, because I want only for the name, right? For the name column, where name, and then I'll be using the thing called like, okay, like operator, and the like operator equals to what I will mention here because I want everything, every name that starts with J. So I'll be writing here, not equals to, sorry, Within single inverted, I'll be writing, as I have told you, I'll be using two operators here for the like statement. One is the percentage and one is the underscore. Percentage is used for matching the first letter, but also the remaining part of the, letters. That is, I just want to match the J, the first alphabet of the name, but the rest of the alphabets of the name have to be there, right? It's not a single name. The rest of the alphabets should also be there. Okay, so I'm writing here J, then percentage, and then I'm closing this. Sorry, my Wi-Fi in my laptop got a bit disconnected. I'm connecting again, just hold on. Sorry, the Wi-Fi got disconnected. I'm sorry for that. So let's continue with it. What I was doing is, yeah. So I was using the wildcard operator. So here I have given J percentage. That means what? After J, there can be multiple letters, right? There is not a single letter because a name doesn't consist of two letters. It can be multiple letters. I'm just matching with the first letter of the name, which is J. That means I want all the names of the employees whose name starts with J. That's it. Okay. And this percentage symbol denotes there can be multiple multiple. So now when I run this particular thing and I click on execute, you can see I have got the two names which starts with J. That is Julia and Jeff. Okay. All the records from the employee one table whose name starts with J. And after J, there is a percentage symbol because we are denoting only the first letter, but the last, there can be multiple letters after J, right? That's why. Now let's go for the underscore. Underscore means what? As I told you, that it is only for those things where there is only one after the matching character, there is only one character after that. Okay, so what is possible for that? That can be age, right? So let's say in age we have only two digits. We don't have 3 digits, 4 digits, right? So let's say I want to match everything and to like show everything from the employee one table where let's say age and like, and here I'm writing 3 underscore. So what does it mean? After 3, there will be only one character, not more than one character. So it can be the case of a, you can say, age, right? So when I just run it, you'll be seeing all the employee age whose age starts with 3. Okay, that means 30 to 39. Within 30 to 39 only will be the ages, right? So 30 and 33. So these are the two employees who are having age whose age starts with 3. And this is what we get. And this is underscore means what? A single character after the matching pattern. I hope everybody understood this wildcard characters still here. Yeah, everybody is clear? Okay. So we can go forward, and after this we have the between operator, right? So what is a between operator? That is also important. So let's say I want to say that I want to get the everything from the employee one table where salary is between, let's say, 80,000 to 80,000 and 1,20,000. Okay. So what will I write here? I'll be writing select star from employee one table where let's say salary between, okay, let's say 80,000 or 90,000 only I'm taking, let's say, and let's say 1,20,000. That's it. Okay, so here I have used and also, where also, and between also. Okay, in between I have to use the and operator because without that I cannot give the range, right? Whenever usually we write a range, we have to give between this and this, right? So that's the same thing that we have done in the SQL statement also. As I told you, SQL statement is nothing but it's kind of a, you know, normal English language, and I think that's what you have replicated from here. Each and every query that I'm writing right now, you are getting the flow, right? So this I'm getting that the salary between 90,000 and 1,20,000. So I have got 90,000 and 1,12,000. Okay, which comes between this range. I hope everybody is clear with the like and the between clause. Okay. Now, if anybody has any technical questions to ask, please write in the Q&A session because other yes, no will be not be taken into account in the Q&A. So any yes or no, you can write in the chat box, and any Q&A or any technical thing that you want to ask, you can write in the Q&A session. Okay. And okay, so we have done till between clause. Now let's go for the next clause as we have some time, and I don't want to make you feel like that we have only done this thing. So I want to make the best use of this data session. Okay. Okay, so let's go for the next query. And this query will be regarding, first I'll show you what it's all about. Let's say, 1 second. I will use the update query, okay? So as I told you, if I have to change something inside my table, already the table has been made, right? Employee one table has been made with the current records that I have entered. Now let's say I want to update some records, okay? I don't want to keep the same records that I have entered, but I want to update it, okay? In this case, what I will do, I have to use the update clause. Okay, as you know, in English language also, update is nothing but to update or to revise the particular thing, like particular data, right? Revise the particular data is known as updation. Similarly, in SQL also we are going to do the same thing using the update clause. So let's go and just try it out, some of the queries here. Okay, wait, I've gone too far. Okay. Also, one more thing you can do, apart from this particular page, if you want to create one more page sidewise, you can also do that by clicking on this new query. Okay, when I click on this new query where my cursor is placing, I can click on this new query, so you can see one more page has been opened. This is the page where I am already working in, and this is the page which is fresh. So let's say if I have to check what's my actual table is, and out of that table whatever I am changing, I can see here in this particular record, I can do that thing parallelly. Okay, so let's say here in this particular page I just want to keep my employee one table open. Okay, like this also you can check, okay, parallelly from both the tables. So select star from employee one when I click on execute. So this is my particular table. Yeah. So now I'm going to change some of the entries here using the update statement. So you can see how it gets updated. Okay. So let's say I'm updating. I want to update. And along with update, whatever you're updating or whatever you are revising any particular value within the table, you always have to use a keyword, fixed keyword with the update, which is known as set. Okay, so update what? I want to update the employee one table, and I'm setting the value. Okay, set is the common thing that you have to use with update. Every time whenever you use update, you have to use the set keyword. Okay, and then what you want to set, I want to set, let's say age equals to 40, let's say. Okay, I want to set the age to 40 for let's say where name equals to what name I have? Sam. The first one only let me take. Okay, Okay, so what I have done here, I want to update the age of the first employee, which is Sam. Okay, his age is basically as of now is 45. I want to change his age to 40. Okay, I want to update his age. And it's in the employee one table. So I have to write the query like this: update the table name, set keyword, and then what I want to update, I have to write that where, I mean for which thing I want to update, I have to write here. Okay, this is the particular way of writing the update statement. When I just select this and I click on execute, so this has been, you can see one row affected. That means what? One row has been changed. Affected means changed. Okay, now when I have to see this, I can simply go here, and here if you just again click on execute, as of now you can see Sam's age is 45, right? And I have updated it as 40. So let me just select this thing once again, then you can get the updated result. You can see now the Sam's age has been changed to 40. Okay, this is how the update statement is used. You can use this update statement to change anything in your table. Okay, I have just used one. So let me take one more example of update statement, as update is also very important. Let's say this time I'm changing the department names of the two females. You can see in my two females, I have written the department as analytics, okay, for both the females. But I don't want the department to be analytics for both the females. I want to change it to tech. Instead of analytics, I want to change it to tech, okay, for both the females. So what will I do here? I'll be writing update, employee 1, set, then this time I'll write department equals to, within single bracket, inverted, as I told you. And there I have to write tech, okay, which is the updated one that I want to, where, to whom I want to change, where gender equals to female, okay, that's it. And now if I just simply run this particular query, now see, two rows got affected because there are two female members, right? Two female employees. So two rows got affected or changed. Now if I go here again and I just run this particular query again, okay, sorry. Sometimes my dragging is not good, so that's why I have to keep on writing. Okay, so select star from employee 1 again. So as of now, you can see both the females are having the same department's analytics. Now, as I have updated it, it will change it to tech. You can see both the females departments has been now changed to tech. Okay, so I have shown you two examples how to update. Okay, yes. So another function, let me tell you, let's say, yeah, I want to, as there are a few times left, Raksha, I think we can forward it to 9:30, right? This session, as we started at, I think, 8:10.
Yeah, okay, we can. Actually, this is 1 hour session, but we can continue till you complete it.
Yeah, so actually, it might take some time. That's why I said, okay.
Okay, and at last we will take a few questions also, so we can try to cover it.
Yeah.
Quickly.
So let's take it to 9:20. After 9:20, we can go for a Q&A session, 10 minutes, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah, sure. So now let's go for, some of the things like, as because some things are left, let's go for, let's say I want to sort the table. Okay, I want to sort this particular, if you see this table right now, this salary column is not sorted, neither this age column is sorted. Okay, I want to sort this particular, any of this particular column in ascending or descending order. Sorting is nothing but to sort in ascending or descending order. So ascending means from smaller to bigger number, and descending is from bigger to smaller number. Okay, this is how we sort the values. Let's say, and this thing can be done with the help of order by clause. Okay, so order by clause is used in SQL to sort the particular column entries in any order, which is ascending or descending. Okay, and by default, if we don't mention ascending or descending, it will take you to the ascending order. By default, when you don't mention ascending or descending, the column will be sorted in ascending order. Okay, but for descending order, you have to mention DESC. Okay, in short form for descending, to make the columns sorted in descending order. Let's do both the things. Okay? So let's say I'm going for select star from employee 1. Okay, so I'm selecting everything from the employee 1 table, but I want to sort. Okay, that's why I'm using the order by clause. Sort the salary column. Okay, but here I'm not mentioning ascending or descending, so it will sort by default in ascending order. Okay, so let's go and check how it goes. So I'm selecting everything from the employee 1 table, but order by only the salary column. So only the salary column will get sorted in ascending order. So when I just click on and execute this query, here only you can see it got sorted in ascending order. See the salary column, and based on this, all the it's related records also got changed. Yeah. So as I told you, from smaller to bigger number. So you can see this is the smallest number, and it's going from smaller to bigger number in the salary column. Yeah. Now let's say I want to sort it in descending order, let's say the age column. Okay, but in the age column, if I have to sort in descending order, I have to mention along with order by age DESC, because that is not default, so we have to mention the descending order. Okay, so I have to write here select star from employee 1 table and order by let's say age, but here I have to mention this particular DESC because I want to sort it in descending order. Okay, so when I just select this particular thing and run the query, so we get the age column has been sorted in descending order, and based on this, the its related records has also got changed in all the columns. Okay, I hope everybody is clear with ascending and descending sorting. Now let's take one more thing, which is, let's say, top. Okay. Let's say I want to see the top 3 employees. Okay, but I've not given any conditions here. I just want to see the top 3 employees. So let's say how to do this. I don't want to see everything from the table. I just want to see the top 3. So I have to write here, select, okay, top 3 and then star, okay, from employee 1 table. So when I do this, it has got no conditions. That is top 3 based on what? So when I am not giving conditions to it, so it will just take the top 3 based on top 3 entries that we have in our table. Okay. So let's say I'm just taking the top 3 and I'll just select this and click on execute. It'll give me the top 3 employees based on the top 3 entries that we have in our table. Okay. Now let's say I want to use this top 3 based on some condition. Let's say I'm writing here, select top 3 or top 2 also. You can write top 1 also, top 4 also, anything they can write. I can usually find top 3 is a standard one where we can get to see at least 3 records there, right? You can use 2 also, it's up to you. Okay. So I'm selecting top 3, okay, from employee 1 table, but here I'm giving a condition. The condition is what? I want to first sort that particular column, which is age column, okay, in descending order. That means what will it do? This particular statement, what will it do? First, it will sort the age column in descending order, okay? And then it will give me the top 3 employees after that. That means the highest age of the highest, the employees having, all the 3 employees having the highest age, that means, okay. Why? Because first the age column will be sorted in descending order, so the ages will come as highest to lowest, and from that we want the top 3, so it will give me the employees who are having the top 3 employees minimum age, okay. So that's what we are going to do. And now when we select this and we click on this execute, so you can see I have got the top 3 employees having the highest age, 40, 33, and 30. Okay. So this is without any condition, and this is with some condition. I hope everybody is clear with what the knowledge is. Top 3 without condition, top 3 with condition. Yeah. Okay, so this is the particular information, as the time is limited, so I couldn't extend more of the topics, but at least some of the important topics where we can play around is I have shown you. Okay, so please practice all this, and if you have any query further, you can kindly contact our team and you can get back to me so we can have more sessions, okay, if possible in future. Yeah, so you'll get notified with the team itself. We have many sessions. Okay. Thank you, Himanshu. Thank you, everyone. Now let's go, for the Q&A session first. Okay. Okay, alphanumeric, it will be taking your string character only, okay? Because as it is not purely number, so it will take a string character, that is varchar only, okay? It is a character, so it'll take a character type only, anonymous, okay? I don't know your names, it's written anonymous attendee, so I just, mention like that. Okay, Manshu, do we use SQL for getting data from database and for saving more database address? And do you need to see SQL is used in all data analytics field? Okay, it's not used in common fields like in in banks or as in in sales, marketing, all these things SQL is not used. But SQL is generally used where we go for the data analytics field. Okay, data analytics, business analyst, for data science, everything that is related to data roles. Only there, SQL is a mandatory thing that you have to know. Okay, so without SQL, I think this is not done, because SQL is the must ingredient that we have to have when we enter any field on data. Okay, it can be data analyst, business analyst, or data science. So it's very much important. Is SQL case sensitive? No, SQL is not case sensitive. Yes, but in some of the clauses, it is case sensitive. Okay, 1 or 2 clauses is case sensitive, but rest SQL is not case sensitive. Okay, so how many days it take to be comfortable in SQL? It depends on you, how you take it, how you practice it. So if you practice it regularly, it will be very much comfortable. And SQL will, there are many advanced level of SQL also. These are just the basic to very basic intermediate level I have taught you just now. But there are many things that you have to know in SQL, SQL, advanced intermediate SQL. Okay, so you have to go step by step, but it won't take more than 1 month or 1.5 months to know everything. Okay, so main thing is the focus and a determination. That's the only thing that's required, because you don't have to have any prior knowledge for everything. Okay, because everything is new for you all, and people from other industries and other roles also shift to data analytics field without having any prior knowledge, so you can easily go for it. But only the thing required is your interest in playing with the data, because it's all about data, everything. Yeah, you have to do that. And what package are we to download and install for us to have this skill? Okay, for said for this, I think the team will be sharing you with the materials that I have shared with the previous session. Okay, so there I have given the SSMS Studio installation and also the SQL Server 2019 version installation. Okay, so you can get it from them. So I think they will be providing you along with the recording also and along with the materials also. Okay, so you can easily go for that step by step. Every guide is every guidance is written how to install each and everything. Okay, so you can just do it from there. um yeah, it's already mentioned there, Folisted. You can just go for it. um What is the difference between a, okay, before, what is the difference between a view and a table? So view is a kind of a subset of the, main table. Okay. The main table, let's say we have created employee one. So with not the employee one, I just want to take a subset of that particular table. So that is called a view. Okay. In layman language, if I'm explaining. What is normalization and what is used in SQL? Normalization is basically a very wider concept, and basically normalization is not used technically in real life scenario until and unless you're a data engineer or you have been working in SQL for 10 years or more. Okay, but a normal data set, like normalization concept can be taught to you, and you have to know, because normalization is basically used for data redundancy. Okay, to remove data redundancy and data transitivity. That means data redundancy means what? Duplication of data. Okay, so normalization is basically used to remove the duplication of data inside the database, and also to remove the dependencies of the data. Okay, so if there are any dependencies between any two columns, so that dependencies will be removed by using the normalization. For these two things, normalization is used. Okay, so there are basically four types of normal forms: 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, and BCNF. Okay, there are four types of normal forms. I hope you got your answer before. Next one is Tarun. Joins and keys. Okay, yeah, joins and keys. Keys are nothing but keys are basically kind of. Okay, there are so many queries. Hold on. Okay, I'll be answering one by one. Huh? I was with, I think. With whom I was, yeah, Tarun. So difference between joins and keys is there. Joins are basically used for connecting two, tables together. Okay, but connection can be in various ways. We have basically four types of joins in SQL, which is inner join, right join, left join, and full join. So inner join is used to only join the two tables based on the common data that they have. Okay. Left join is used to join the two tables where every data from the left table is taken and only the matching data from the right table is taken, and they are joined together. Right join is similarly to the left join. All the data from the right table is taken and the matching data from the left table is taken, and both the data are joined. And full join means what? All the data from the right table and all the data from the left table are taken together. Okay. And okay, does SQL come into play? Okay, does SQL come into play for data science role? See, Nikhil, as I told you, for data science, for data analyst, for any data job roles, okay, SQL is the must ingredient you have to know, because everyone will be expecting you to know SQL. Only then some of the things that are very much needed for entering into the data world, okay, data science world or data analyst world, you have to know SQL, you have to know the advanced version of Excel, you have to know any of the visualization tools like Power BI or Tableau, and you have to know Python also to some extent. Okay, these are the mandatory skills that you have to know. Okay, how do you use a subquery and join queries? So join query, as I've already mentioned, how to join a query and different types of join query. And subqueries are used when there is a long query that we cannot fit inside a particular select statement. So we use subquery so that we can divide the query into two parts. So we have two parts of it. One is the inner query, one is the outer query. Okay. So first the inner query is executed, and based on the result of the inner query, the outer query result is getting matched. And this is how a subquery works. Okay. George, why are the table name and column names underlined in red? So this red doesn't really matter, okay? So this red marks are just marks, okay? It will get removed when you open next time, okay? Or else sometimes it stays also. This red marks doesn't really mean anything, okay? Unless and until your query is good to go, it's correct and is executing properly, so it's fine. Okay, George? In data science, Arvind, in data science field, we also be required to create a database and tables only for a select query. We required to fetch data and do analytics. Do we also be required to create a database? Yes, of course, because Arvind, without creating a database, you cannot, build a table inside a database, because a database is nothing. Database is just a, blank canvas. A database is a blank canvas, a huge blank canvas inside which we'll be creating our tables. Okay, and those tables which we create, those will be stored inside the blank canvas. Okay, so the blank canvas should be created, without which the tables cannot be used inside. Yeah, so database is very important to create, then only we can enter the tables and related records inside the tables. Okay, Arvind, how can we insert all these entries in one go? All these entries in one go we cannot insert, because we have to, all the entries are different, so we have to write. But as I shown you, Madhu, that we can, enter any two queries, and then we can copy paste. We don't have to write insert into employee table again and again. Those things can be avoided by copying and pasting. But inside the records that you are, entering, that should be done manually only. Yeah, we cannot have any other option. So I hope you have answered, Madhu. Is it possible to export from Excel file to SQL? Yes, of course, Solicit, we can do that. And that I have already shown in my previous data session. So you can just go through that video and just check it, how to import Excel files and other files into database, okay? Into SSMS Studio. Okay, and what is report? I'm expecting to know in details. Report, anonymous. So report is basically, report is used in visualization tools, any BI tools like say Tableau and Power BI. We use the reports. Okay, we make reports based on different visualizations that we do after we do some data analysis on it. Okay, so reports can be of many pages together. Okay, and for that, to understand a better knowledge of report, you can get to know with the help of Tableau or Power BI. Okay, why SQL only when we can create database in Python? See, anonymous, SQL things are different and Python things are different. Okay, in Python when we do SQL, so that comes with some limitations. Every clause of SQL cannot be used in Python. Only some of the basic to intermediate clauses can be used in Python. Okay, but in SQL, everything from basic to advanced, everything can be used in SQL. So SQL strategy is completely different, and database in Python is completely different. Okay, not completely different, it is quite matching, but in Python we cannot use all the clauses of SQL. Okay, which we want to use, but that we can use only with SQL only. Okay, this is the my answer for you. Can you advise to become good at SQL if we didn't? Can you, Ragesh, what have you written? Can you advise to become good at SQL if we didn't get a chance to work with real life project? Yes, sure, Ragesh. So that's what I told you, that you don't have to have a prior expertise or prior knowledge on SQL. You have this thing is quite new for you, and so it's perfectly fine. And to get a real-time project, you can have many projects. You can you can go for any, in Google also you can check for any kind of SQL projects there. But before projects, you have to know the basics to advance every concept very clearly. There are window functions, there are views, stored procedure, transactions, exception handling. There are functions, string functions, met functions. Yeah, group by, having all these things you have to know first very clearly, conceptual wise. Then only you can go for real time projects. Okay, so that you can easily get into anything. Yeah, in any YouTube videos or something you can get it from. Yeah, Ragesh, I hope I have answered your question. In PG data science SQL, okay. Okay, Ragesh, thank you. In PG, data science SQL was not told. Tables were created by Python also. Yeah, of course. So in PG data science SQL was not told. Okay, so there might be some reasons for them for not telling you, but in real life scenario, when you go for data science or data analysis courses, SQL is a mandate. Okay, So you can check it on Google also. So what are the skills required for data science roles or data analyst roles? So SQL is a mandate there. You can just watch it, okay? So basically, I told you in Python also you can make a database. Same thing you can do with in SQL also. But there are some clauses which cannot be used in Python of SQL, which you can use in SQL independently. Okay, Anonymous? I'm sorry to answer, address you as Anonymous, but I don't know your name. That's why. Okay, Madhu. So thanks, but then it is quite time-consuming scripting, and we cannot update a large number of information in one go. So yeah, this is what I'm showing you in basics. Yeah, in basics, I have to show and create you with table. But basically, in real life scenario, you don't have to write the queries. Yeah, we have to. You can easily import any Excel file which is having a large set of data. You can import them, same as I have shown you how the employee table looks like. The same form of table can be looked like when you import Excel files, CSV files, or any files into SSMS Studio. So there you don't have to create a table. The table is already created. The data is already there. You have to just manipulate the data using the SQL queries. Okay, Madhu? Hi. Do you have any book recommendation for making a solid foundation in SQL? Mohammed, I'm not that book kind of person. I really don't write books, or I don't read books so much. But yes, I go for some, if I have some any doubts in regarding some of the things, you can go for, there are two good, uh, blogs. Okay, one is Geeks for Geeks, and one is you can say W3 schools. Okay, these two I can suggest you, where you can get at least some basic knowledge of all the concepts clearly in a very easy language if you want to search it for. Okay, Mohammed. Okay, hi Santa. Okay, hi Santa. Okay, now I got your name. Okay, I hope everybody's queries are clear now.
I So I
Okay,
can
I
see
think
that all of the questions are covered. Yes. So
yes, everything
thank
is
you so much,
covered.
Uddipta, for answering all these questions. And I guess already we are running short on time. So quickly, I would like to share a feedback poll for our audience. Please,
Okay.
audience, engage with this poll. Okay, here is the poll. And soon we'll wrap up the session.
Thanks, Madhu. Thanks, Suvarna. Thank you, everyone. And I hope you all have liked the session and taken, a good amount of knowledge. Okay. Thanks, Arvind. Um, okay. So, thank you, Zulkarnian Qureshi. Uh, thank you, Suresh. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes, Vishnu. We'll see again. I hope so. And if it happens, you'll be getting notified. Thank you, Falset. Yeah. Thank you, Himanshu. Yeah. So thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, David. Thank you, Rahman. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you, everyone.
Okay, so I can check there's a good participation in feedback poll. And so, okay. Thanks a lot. First of all, I would like to thank you, Uddipta. You have delivered such a great and wonderful session. Like personally, I enjoyed it. It was really interesting. And I am sure it was
Thank you so
insightful for
much.
our audience. Yes, it was appropriate for
Yeah.
lots of experience level, I guess.
Thank you. So if people are wanting one more session with me, they can take it, or why, the way you all feel, how to you want to take it forward, you can do that. We can have one more session if it. Okay, Mohammed, thank you so much.
Yeah,
So it's up
hopefully
to
we
you all.
can conduct, yes, we can conduct more sessions with you in the future. I hope so.
Yes, sure. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we'll wrap up the session here. And audience, thank you so much for engaging with the poll. And I'm pasting all the links in the chat section for the upcoming sessions and the previous recorded sessions with Uddipta. So please pick it from here.
Okay,
Okay,
everyone,
so
thank you so much. You all liked it. That's my credit. That's my, like, not credit. Sorry for the word. That's my, achievement that you all have liked this session, and I hopefully will see you further in the further sessions ahead, which will be organized by the team itself. They'll let you know very soon. And also, like the other materials they'll be sharing with you for today's session. So yeah. Yes, Rajesh, we can go for advanced SQL, but there are some things that you have to know before going for advanced SQL. You have to know the intermediate queries also. Some of the intermediate queries are left behind before we start SQL, advanced SQL. So that is also mandate. So yeah, that's it. Okay. So last time also, yeah. Last time also the rating was very good enough, I suppose. I got the rating. It was okay.
Yeah, I can check. It's a very good feedback. So hopefully I wish to we'll have more sessions with you. And
yeah, many people are requesting for a next session. Yeah, so we can do it later on.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so guys, we'll wrap up the session here, and the link is in the chat section. Grab it from there. So okay, till then, bye-bye and keep learning, everyone. Thank you.
Yes, keep learning. Bye. Take care, everyone. Good night. See ya.